Hello, lovely people. Glad to come your way once again. In this video, I would like to talk to you about using AI to improve your work, your research, or as a student, how you can leverage on AI to improve your output.
A new place, a new home for a while. Let me feel alive.
So I think it's really an exciting time to be a student. Agree with me that indeed AI has been a significant game changer, and there are several AI tools on the market. I want to talk to you about 5 things that I think you can leverage on the availability of AI to improve your work as a student, but also even as a researcher. So the first area is leverage on the power of AI to give you a bird's eye view of an area you want to research about, which you are not particularly familiar in terms of the discourses, in terms of the main arguments in that area. But bear in mind, that is not a substitute for you not to go and then critically engage with the particular literature or the materials that exist. Let's say you want to research about housing policies in Ghana, and this is not an area, this is not something you have been actively working on. You don't know the discourse, you don't know the sorts of arguments that are related to this particular topic. Then I think that AI can be a useful tool in the sense of, if you give the prompt to the AI to tell you about what are the main issues, for example, related to housing policy in Ghana, highlighting the main arguments in this particular area of research. It is not a substitute for you to say that what has come out of the AI, that is all that there is to it. Then delve specifically into some of the literature that have been cited. What I usually do is to ask the AI to provide me with relevant citations. And I will put an asterisk to my prompt to say that I need accurate references, because we all know some AIs do hallucinate, which means that they can quote references that do not exist or are completely not related to what you actually are looking at or what they are reporting. The second area I want to highlight, finding related literature. Now, there are very clever AI tools that these days can help you. So all you need is, if you have a particular literature, maybe you read one particular paper, or you have an essay to write on a topic, you were given one particular reference or 2 references, you found them interesting, you want to delve deeper, you want to read more about this particular topic to get the different perspectives, the different arguments that have been presented or works that have been carried out on this topic. Then there are a number of AI tools that you can essentially input this particular paper or put the citation of this paper in, and it will give you a pictorial view of different papers that are related to the same thing that you are looking at. So it could pull out 10 papers telling you that these papers look at this topic that you are actually also interested in, and some will even go to the extent of telling you some of the findings that these papers actually arrive at. But if you ask me, I would say the gold standard is still bibliometric literature search. Why? Because most AIs have got a cutoff date. So for example, the popular ChatGPT has got a cutoff date of 2021, which means that beyond 2021 you wouldn't get any literature or any insight coming from ChatGPT, because the data sets that it relies on goes as far back as 2021. So that is the tricky bit of it. But if you rely on existing academic databases, then you would have even publications that are in preprint, publications that have just come out online first, that have not yet been published. So I think the gold standard is still using academic databases like JSTOR, like Scopus, like Web of Science, Web of Knowledge. You can rely on these ones. The third area that I think researchers, students can leverage on AI in their work, proofreading. I mean, I remember when I was completing my PhD, I'm not a native English speaker, although all my education has been in English. But you can tell when you're writing an academic dissertation, like a PhD dissertation, you get to a certain point and you realize that, okay, you will miss either a grammar, you'll miss some sentences might not sound right and all that. So you essentially have to rely on a professional proofreader, and it's not cheap. I had to follow a professional proofreader and also some of my colleagues to read through my work, and even my supervisor to read through my essay and give me feedback. But guess what? AI can do your proofreading for you. Amazing, right? Of course, you know that if you have a full paid subscription, then you can literally upload your entire thesis into it and ask the AI to simply correct your grammatical errors or make sure that all your punctuations and everything is correct and your text reads fine and all that. And the AI can do that. I'm not saying that the AI is a substitute for professional reader, but then they can do a pretty decent job when it comes to proofreading your work to make sure that things, very minor errors that can really take the shine out of your work, or that's no excuse whatsoever to write an academic paper or an assignment, submit an assignment or an essay full of grammatical errors and basic mistakes. And so I think that you should leverage on the power of AI in this particular respect. The next point I want to talk is to improve the readability and clarity of your work. So the proofreading is different from the readability and clarity of your work. I mean, we all have different styles of writing, and some people can write very well. I mean, to the extent that when you are reading their text, it almost feels like you're having a conversation with them. Other people writings are very complex. I mean, you need to be at a certain level to be able to engage with the scholarly work. So you can leverage on the AI in an era where researchers are challenged to make our works much more impactful beyond just academia. We are all thinking about, how do I write in such a way that my work can be understood even by somebody who is a non-technical person. So this is where you can also leverage on the power of AI to ask the AI to make sure that your writing is clear, make sure that your writing is readable. For example, you can ask it to rank on a scale of 1 to 5 the extent to which your writing is readable or is clear, and the AI can score that for you, and then you can look at how it's been scored, and then you can then ask it to improve the writing up for you. This is not the same as asking the AI to write for you. Yes, so here you are leveraging on the power of AI to be able to tell you that, look, your text is very complex, it's very winding, there are a lot of run-on sentences, or your text is concise, it's readable, and it can be easily understood even by non-technical audience. Fourth one, using the AI to critique your own write-up, right? So I mean, oftentimes we write and then we give it to our colleagues, and then they look at our work and then they give us critique. The AI is not a substitute of all the brilliant resources we have at our disposal in terms of our colleagues, in terms of our professors and all that. But before you even approach them, you can at least make their work a little bit easier by asking the AI to critique, assume the position of a professor of whichever subject you're writing on, and using that expertise to critique what you have written and give you feedback. And once you get that feedback, you can then sit back and then reflect on the feedback and see whether you agree with the feedback. And if you agree with it, then you go ahead and then you implement the feedback on the essay that you have written before you even forward it to your colleague or your professor for their input. I think the final thing that I want to highlight is trying using the AI to rephrase things that you've written. I mean, sometimes you write certain things and it doesn't really sound well. You probably will prefer it to be rephrased in a way that's maybe more intuitive, or when people read it, they can really understand what you mean. But I'll caution you, always make sure that the rephrasing conveys the exact meaning you intended. But sometimes the AI, in an attempt to rephrase, may leave out certain keywords, certain relevant statistics, certain key adjectives, or certain key things that for you they are very important and they go to the heart of whatever argument you are making. So make sure that when you get that, you go over it and you read, and then you ask yourself whether this is really what you wanted to communicate. Does it really come out clear, like what you intended? Then you can then implement that. So these are the 5 areas that I believe as students, as researchers, you can leverage the power of AI to improve upon your research, upon your writing. But remember, it is not a substitute for all the hard work that you have to do. In any case, you need to be able to input something into the AI for the AI to be able to give you a suggestion or do anything that it has to do for you. As the AI to do a literature review for me or do that, and then literally you left whatever the AI produces and then you hand it in. I believe we are all too mature for this to be able to decipher and read between the lines. But it is a brilliant weapon, is a brilliant tool that has been given to all of us, and I think that we should make use of it. We should take advantage of it to reduce our workload, to improve our work, improve our communication, and make research much more fun. Sometimes we are held back by the technicalities, language, and other things, and these things sometimes encumber. They prevent us from really getting across the message that we want to. So a number of AI tools that you can draw upon. So for example, just to mention some few ones that I think that are useful. I use Bing AI, which is quite useful for me because one, unlike ChatGPT, which has a data set that goes just up to 2021, Bing AI is very current, can give you up to even today's information, or if you want some insights that are very current and recent, you can find it in Bing AI. So Bing AI is there. You've got Cite AI. If you are interested in finding citations for work, you can find that. We have Elicit, there is Jenny AI, there is Researcher Life, there is PaperPal. I mean, the list keeps growing and growing and growing. I'll post some of the links on this video. You can check them out. Some are basic. You have basic subscription that is free. Some you have to pay to enjoy the full suite and all the advantages that it comes with. So yes, it's a new era. It's a new era for students, a new era for researchers, and I must say that the Russell Group universities in the UK have signed a charter or have made a declaration regarding their position on AI, and I think it's one that is welcoming. It is one that it suggests that we need to embrace it, but we have to be mindful about the ethical issues surrounding the use of AI and also academic integrity. We need to be careful and ensure that in our pursuit for at least that relief that AI brings us, we don't compromise and we don't dilute the rigors of scientific research and also scholarship. So thank you, and if this is your first time watching this channel, I will encourage you to like this video, share this video with your colleagues, researchers or students who are starting their undergraduates, their masters or their PhD degrees. I believe that it will be beneficial to someone. And if you want to subscribe and follow us, we are happy to have you to join our growing channel. We talk about living, studying generally in the UK. So I come mostly talking about academic related stuff because I am an academic. So thank you and see you next time. Bye bye.